The bill I'm about to sign into law, Senate Bill 1070, represents another tool for our state to use as we work to solve a crisis that we did not create and the federal government has refused to fix.
Here we go again. The federal government is refusing to fix. Did you hear that, people? Welcome one, welcome all, from Milwaukee to Miami, New York to Los Angeles. It's Walt's Take. I believe it's part 5. I get lost. You'll see. If it ain't part 5, it's 6. If it ain't 6, it's part 4. Blah, 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 blah. Walt's Take, AmericasPulse.com. Of course, conservatives get bombed on Walt's Take, AmericasPulse.com. All caps WTAP at Walt's Take, AmericasPulse.com. Check me out, Alexander Milwaukee. That's my name right now. You can go to Walt's Take, AmericasPulse.com and see my account, Facebook account, is linked. Not only that, but you go to Walt's Take America's Pulse. It's a group on Facebook. Join it. Join the goddamn motherfucker. Alright? And join the membership on my Walt'sTakeAmericasPulse.com too. Because we're getting up there in numbers. So the last 2 weeks, like I said, have been pretty good. So what we're trying to do is grow. Now back to the clip. That was Arizona Governor Jan Brewer. And it's the papers bill, please. The Nazi please bill. And I'm going to probably try to play devil's advocate here like I always do or usually do. We'll try to look at it from both sides. Basically, the illegals are going to be presumed illegal. Even if you have your papers. And I don't know. It's hard for me. I'm kind of straddling the fence on this. But we'll get to that. But they are actually right that the federal government has not dealt with immigration. And that includes George Bush. I know, I hate to bring that up. You can't bring that up. You're not allowed to bring up George Bush. If you ask Kennedy, freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty is at stake. You can't ask them that because Bush is off limits. He kept America safe. You always forget about the fucking thousands of people that died in 9/11 while he was on vacation. You always forget about that. Fact. Now, okay, you heard Jan Brewer, it's the Arizona governor, and she later went on to say, we don't know what illegal immigrants look like. We don't have a... Who the fuck are you trying to kid? You know goddamn well they're not blue-eyed, blonde-haired Caucasians. They're probably not even African Americans. Probably not even Asian Americans. You know what they are. They're Latinos from Mexico. They're Mexicans coming over to work. Now, there's a criminal element, I will admit. And that's a part of me that is divided, okay? I understand that the jobs are hard to come by right now. And the flood of immigrants in that region, the Southwest, down there, you know, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, Nevada. I can only just imagine how much of an impact all the jobs that are taken. My uncle lived down there for a second in Phoenix. And he told me there's jobs are extremely hard to come by because it's just they have all the jobs. And don't be taking it as racism. And another issue that I think that if we're going to make it, like, if you want to have where we have an amnesty, which I know they hate, what they have to do is an amnesty is they have to force these employers to be fair and try to give jobs out to equally to Americans. If you don't want to have an overflood of immigrants and they just take all the jobs, then what are all the Americans going to do? I know a lot of people from the Latino region might say, well, that's kind of racist. I don't know. It's a touchy subject. Another touchy subject is language. You know, you go to any country. You go to Mexico, you're going to speak Spanish. If you don't learn to speak Spanish, then you're just fucked, ain't you? You go to France, you're going to speak French. You're not going to learn, I mean, you know, you can learn English. And you can learn other languages. Nobody's saying you can't learn it. But you shouldn't be able to come to somebody else's country and tell them, no, this is what we're speaking. Well, wait a minute. We speak English here. I know, that's just a way to look at it. See, I told you I'm playing devil's advocate. If you're going to say, well, I want everybody to speak English, I can understand why Americans say that. Because they want everybody to be on the same playing field. At least we have one common ground, and that's language. Now, if you want to learn Spanish, that should be your business. Now, I don't care what you do. But if you come over to a country that's an English-speaking country, and we got plenty of languages. See, everybody has lost their tongue. Years ago, the Polish, the German, African, we never had our language. It was stolen from us. We never had our language. How would you like that? You know, the Italians, they left their language. Germans, Polish, whoever came over here, they melted into the pot. Now, the problem, like again, devil's advocate, the problem that we have here is some element of the Latino community said, fuck English. I'm not even going to try to learn English, and I don't give a fuck. Well, that should be one of the rules. If you want to be American, you should be able to speak English. I'm not saying you got to be a fucking doctor of the English language. I'm just saying that you should be able to speak basic English. All right? I don't give a fuck if you speak Spanish at home, if you speak Spanish at your job. All right? It doesn't make any difference. You should be able to speak English. You know, why should there be all kinds of confusion? Everybody should be on one playing field when it comes to language. That's devil's advocate. Now, I do believe, though, that that should be one of the points that you use. You have to be able to speak English to be melted into the pot. You come up here, you should be able to speak English. That would grant you, out of probably, what, 5 years? I don't know. I'm not a legislator. Maybe 5 years of schooling. You know, a couple English classes. You know, so learn some whatever the fuck they got. Learn English. Nobody said you had to lose Spanish. Just learn English. Every other ethnic group has lost their language. If they haven't, they speak it at home. But they don't make a big issue of it. And that's the problem with a lot of Americans that they have. Is they have a problem with the language problem. That's basically one of the big problems in the jobs. You know, oh, well, all the jobs, they'll do it for cheaper, and so we're fucked out of them jobs. You know, well, that's too bad. I personally think that everybody should get off their ass and do something. The Mexicans are doing it, then that's your fault. You lose your job. But I'm saying the main problem is probably the language barrier. And everybody wants to be back on. So what we got to do here, I got another clip here for you. And it is, like I said, this new bill that is passed. It was signed into law by the governor, Jan Brewer, the Arizona governor. It basically is saying that, you know, if we pull over somebody and they don't have their ID, you know, they don't have any goddamn nothing, then we're going to suspect some shit. You don't know what the fuck, you don't know your address, you don't know anything. You know, you have your green card, you have anything? No, you don't have it? Okay, well then we can do a search. And that's what the big problem is. I understand, because I'm an African American. Alright? I understand getting pulled over for being black. I get that. I've been pulled over for being black. I know, it's shocking to believe. Oh, that doesn't happen. That's bullshit. You're a crybaby. Eh, whatever. I'm just telling you. I understand what it's like to be picked out. You know, I'm not a criminal. Hardworking. Pay my taxes. Take care of my family. And get pulled over for being black? Yes, you goddamn right I'm upset about that shit. I don't want to get pulled over. I understand the Mexican American and the Latino community. They don't want to be pulled over all the time and then harassed for their papers like this is Nazi Germany. I understand that. I understand that problem. I think this is part 5, right? Okay. So I do understand the problem. Big time. I understand where they're coming from. And so that basically is part 5 for the Grand Obstructionist Party. The first part was a shitty deal. This is still a shitty deal, but this is here we go again, GOP. And that is we're transferring all the healthcare strategies over to immigration reform, to financial reform, and everything. This is still no, 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 no. I gave you a little devil's advocate when we were talking about the, you know, language barrier and all the problems that ensue with that. So, when I come back, we'll have a clip of the GOP senators crying the blues on non-action on the part of the federal government, which they are a part of, and as it pertains to immigration reform. See you motherfuckers in a minute.